Welcome to Famous in Focus, the channel where we celebrate lives that touch millions through talent, grace, and perseverance. Today, we bring you the extraordinary journey of Jyoti Chandekar, a veteran actress whose presence lit up the stage, the silver screen, and the world of television. To many, she will forever be remembered as Purna Aji from the beloved serial Tharala Tarmag. But her story stretches far beyond that role, into decades of art, resilience, and passion. From her early roots in Marathi theater to her iconic moments in cinema and later her memorable television roles, Chandekar represented authenticity, strength, and emotion in every performance. In this feature, we'll journey through 5 chapters of her life: her beginnings, her rise in cinema, her television fame, her personal side, and her lasting legacy. Let's begin with the early story of the girl who would grow into one of Marathi entertainment's most respected figures. Every great journey begins with a spark, and for Jyoti Chandekar, that spark was lit at a very young age. Born into a modest Maharashtrian household in the mid-1950s, Jyoti grew up surrounded by cultural traditions, festivals, and storytelling. In those days, theater was not just entertainment, but a community event, a reflection of society's values and struggles. It was within this environment that her love for performance began to take shape. As a child, Jyoti was known for her natural flair for expression. Whether it was imitating neighbors for fun or narrating school lessons like stories, she had an instinctive ability to connect with an audience. Teachers at her school often encouraged her to take part in plays, where she stood out not only because of her dialogue delivery, but also because of the way she embodied characters with maturity beyond her years. At the age of 12, Jyoti made her first appearance on stage. It was not a glamorous debut, but a small role in a local theater production. Yet it left an impression on everyone who saw it. The young girl commanded the stage with a calm confidence, as if she belonged there. More importantly, it left an impression on Jyoti herself. She knew she had found her calling. Theater in those days was both demanding and competitive, particularly for women. It required long rehearsals, physical stamina, and emotional investment, all with very little financial reward. But Jyoti was not one to be discouraged. She began learning the craft with seriousness, studying dialogue, observing senior actors, practicing diction, and experimenting with body language. She believed theater was more than performance. It was discipline, education, and a mirror of society. Her first big recognition came during her teenage years when she delivered a powerful performance in a regional play that touched on family and social values. Critics noted her ability to bring honesty to her role, something that would later define her career. This period also introduced her to mentors in Marathi theater who helped refine her skills and guided her path. Theater wasn't just an art form for Jyoti, it became her training ground. Unlike cinema or television, where retakes are possible, stage acting demanded perfection in the moment. Every show was live, every mistake permanent, and every applause genuine. Performing night after night in front of live audiences gave Jyoti resilience, adaptability, and the ability to connect emotionally with viewers. But the journey was not without challenges. Society often frowned upon women who chose acting as a profession, considering it unstable or unsuitable. Jyoti faced resistance at times, balancing expectations of family life with her passion for the stage. Yet she stood firm, guided by the belief that storytelling had the power to inspire and change people's lives. By the late 1970s, Jyoti Chandekar was no longer just a promising stage actress. She was a recognized performer within the Marathi theater circuit. Her reputation for portraying complex female characters with depth grew steadily. Directors sought her for roles that required both strength and vulnerability, qualities she embodied naturally. This foundation in theater would prove invaluable in the years to come. It was here that she sharpened her instincts, mastered timing, and discovered the emotional honesty that audiences adored. It was also the beginning of a journey that would take her beyond the stage, into cinema and later television, where millions more would come to know her name. For Jyoti Chandekar, those formative years in theater were not just the beginning of a career. They were the beginning of a lifelong relationship with storytelling, one that would endure until her very last role. Theater had given Jyoti Chandekar her foundation, but the lure of cinema was undeniable. Jyoti's portrayal in the movie earned her wide recognition, and though the film's central role was carried by Tejaswini Pandit, Jyoti brought gravitas and emotional weight to her performance. Critics praised her ability to represent dignity and resilience, qualities that resonated with audiences. Apart from this landmark, Jyoti appeared in films like Guru and Ticha Umbartha, where she brought nuance to roles that could have easily been overlooked in lesser hands. In an industry where many supporting characters are written without depth, she made sure each one carried humanity and individuality. Marathi cinema has always been known for addressing social issues, and Jyoti's filmography reflected that. She often chose roles that highlighted themes of womanhood, family struggles, and resilience in the face of adversity. These were not glamorous parts, but meaningful ones, and she played them with such conviction that viewers related deeply to her characters. Her colleagues frequently remarked on her work ethic. On set, Jyoti was punctual, prepared, and deeply respectful of her craft. Younger actors looked up to her as a mentor, learning how to approach scenes with sincerity rather than overacting. By the time she had established herself in films, Jyoti Chandekar had proven that an actor doesn't need to be a lead star to be unforgettable. What mattered was impact, and hers was profound. Cinema gave her a new platform, but her ability to connect emotionally with audiences remained rooted in the lessons she had learned on the stage. This period solidified her reputation as an actress of substance, paving the way for the next big chapter in her life, the golden years of Marathi television. For many artists, cinema is the peak, but for Jyoti Chandekar, the medium that truly made her a household name was television. In the 1990s and 2000s, Marathi television experienced a boom, and family dramas became central to living room entertainment. It was in this space that Jyoti carved her most enduring legacy. Her most beloved role came in the serial Tharala Tarmag, where she played Purna Aji, the wise and affectionate grandmother. The character was not just a family elder, but the emotional anchor of the story. For viewers, she became more than an actress. She became a member of their own families. People began to call her Aji with genuine affection. What made Purna Aji so special was not just the script, but Jyoti's performance. She brought tenderness, humor, and authority into the role in equal measure. Audiences could see shades of their own grandmothers in her. The way she scolded out of love, the way she guided with experience, and the way she offered warmth, even in silence. Television allowed Jyoti to reach households daily, and her fan base expanded to include children, parents, and grandparents alike. Unlike cinema, which people visited occasionally, TV became a constant companion, and Jyoti became a constant presence in people's lives. Her work in television also showcased her versatility. While Purna Aji was her most iconic role, she played a wide range of characters over the years. Mothers, aunts, and matriarchs, each with unique personalities. She avoided stereotypes by adding her own depth, ensuring that no two roles ever felt the same. Behind the camera, Jyoti was known for her generosity. Younger actors often recalled how she would share tips on delivery, timing, and even life lessons. She treated colleagues like family, creating an atmosphere of warmth and collaboration on set. By the 2010s, her image as Aji had become so iconic that it transcended television. People began to recognize her on the streets, often greeting her with respect as though she were their own grandmother. For Jyoti, this love was the highest reward. Television immortalized Jyoti Chandekar in a way that no other medium could. It cemented her as not just an actress, but a cultural figure, someone whose presence was associated with family values, tradition, and emotional truth. Behind the spotlight, Jyoti Chandekar was a woman deeply rooted in family and values. She married and balanced her responsibilities as a wife, mother, and professional with grace. In an industry that often demands long hours and frequent travel, she managed to maintain stability at home without compromising her passion for acting. Her daughter, Tejaswini Pandit, followed in her footsteps to become a well-known Marathi actress. The mother-daughter duo shared not only a bond of love, but also a bond of art. Jyoti was Tejaswini's first teacher, guiding her with advice and encouragement as she entered the same industry. Tejaswini has often spoken about how her mother was her biggest role model, teaching her that humility and honesty are as important as talent. In her personal life, Jyoti was known for her simplicity. She preferred the quiet comfort of home over glamorous parties. Friends and neighbors often described her as warm, approachable, and always willing to help. She believed in living a grounded life, anchored in values of respect, kindness, and responsibility. Spirituality also played a role in her personal philosophy. Jyoti often spoke about the importance of gratitude for family, work, and health. She carried this outlook even in the face of struggles, choosing resilience over complaint. Colleagues admired her not just for her talent, but for her character. On set, she was respectful to everyone, from directors to spot boys. She never carried herself with arrogance despite her stature in the industry. This humility won her lifelong friendships and deep respect. Her family life was not separate from her public life, but intertwined. When audiences watched her play motherly or grandmotherly roles, they saw authenticity because those qualities came naturally to her. She lived the values she portrayed on screen. The loss of Jyoti Chandekar in 2024 was particularly painful for her daughter Tejaswini, who paid emotional tribute, calling her mother the greatest inspiration of her life. Through her family, her teachings, and her example, Jyoti's influence continues beyond her passing. In her later years, Jyoti Chandekar continued to work in both cinema and television. Even as health challenges began to surface, she remained active, dedicated, and passionate about her craft until her final days. Sadly, in early 2024, she passed away at the age of 68/69, leaving behind a grieving family and an industry that deeply mourned her loss. Tributes poured in from every corner of Marathi entertainment. Actors, directors, and fans shared stories of how she had inspired them, mentored them, or simply made them feel at home with her performances. Social media was filled with heartfelt messages, photos, and clips of her most memorable scenes. For many, her passing felt like losing a family member. But legacies do not die. Jyoti Chandekar's contribution to Marathi theater, cinema, and television remains alive in her body of work. Generations will continue to watch her performances, study her craft, and learn from the emotional truths she brought to every character. Her influence is particularly strong for women in the industry. At a time when female actors were often sidelined, Jyoti carved a path by choosing meaningful roles and standing firm in her dedication. She proved that women could carry depth, wisdom, and dignity in their roles, and that these portrayals were just as important as the glamorous leads. Her legacy also lives on through her daughter Tejaswini Pandit, who continues to shine in Marathi cinema. In every performance, Tejaswini carries forward the lessons and inspiration she received from her mother. For audiences, Jyoti Chandekar will forever remain Purna Aji, the grandmother who reminded us of love, tradition, and family bonds. But beyond the screen, she represents resilience, authenticity, and the power of storytelling. As time moves forward, her name will continue to be spoken with respect. Her journey reminds us that greatness is not about fame alone, but about touching lives, inspiring others, and leaving behind a light that never fades. As we conclude this journey through the life of Jyoti Chandekar, we remember not just the actress, but the human being who touched so many lives. From a young girl discovering theater at age 12 to the cultural icon remembered as Purna Aji, her story is one of resilience, grace, and authenticity. Her legacy continues through her performances, her family, and the countless lives she touched. Jyoti Chandekar reminds us that the true measure of an artist lies not in awards or fame, but in the hearts they reach. This has been Famous in Focus. If Jyoti Chandekar's work touched you, share your favorite memory or role in the comments below. Let's keep her story alive, cherished, remembered, and celebrated for generations to come.